What is the impact of Ukrainian war to Poland?
Well, it's very important because, frankly speaking, it's not only Ukrainian war, but it's also a war of the whole Europe against Putin. In my opinion, he's a danger for the whole Europe.
And has it some impact to you especially?
Well, I'm extremely sorry having seen this situation and the people killed during the war. And frankly speaking, well, everything is for me a big disaster for everybody and for me personally also. I never supposed that I can see such a situation because it is something unusual and hard to think about it.
How the war impact your life?
Rzeczywiście wojna wpłynęła na mojej żony zachowanie. Odczuwamy to bardzo boleśnie, bo naród cierpi, giną ludzie.
Dzieci szczególnie giną, rodziny są rozbite i szczególnie szkoda dzieci. Dzieci, zabytków, no ale szczególnie ludzi.
A najgorsze, że nie widać końca. Kiedy to się skończy, żebyście w końcu mogli rozwijać swój kraj i nie musieli emigrować, o tak odpowiem.
Bo my jako Polacy pamiętamy też naszą II wojnę światową. Pamiętamy nasze męczeństwa i tak dalej. Ciągle to my akurat jesteśmy z takiego pokolenia, że nie przeżyliśmy tej wojny, ale pamiętamy jak nasi dziadkowie, rodzice opowiadali o wojnie. To po prostu są filmy, są muzea w Polsce. Jak to wszystko człowiek ogląda, to po prostu bolą nas serca, że to spotkało Ukrainę. Społeczeństwo. Bo żaden człowiek na to nie zasługuje. Żaden.
W miarę możliwości staraliśmy się cały czas pomóc, czyli jakieś tam wsparcie, dawaliśmy datki na rzecz paczki. Ale
pieniądze.
cały czas liczymy na to, że to wkrótce się skończy i że pokój zapanuje w Europie.
Że pokój będzie.
Dziękuję.
Dziękuję.
Do własnego zdania. Czytaj. Litera po literze. Co straciłeś, w czego odzyskali wierzę? Słuchaj ważnych słów tego przesłania. My stoimy...
How war in Ukraine impact your life?
As I hear it at the first time, I was shocked about that. So I helped the people in the Ukraine. So I drive with friends to some spots and for food or something else, and drive the persons back to Poland or in German. So yeah, I want to help. So I try my best.
You are from Germany, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. I'm from Germany.
I have to say that Ukrainian war at the beginning, of course, impacted every day. So we born in the morning with the thing about the war, but time makes everything softer. So now this impact is not so much on the, let's say, image, atmosphere of every day, but because of the war, we lost the sense of being safe in Europe. So this is a much wider impact, much wider effect. So congratulations for your project.
How war in Ukraine impact your life?
So I'm from Italy. For example, in Italy we show the increasing of the price. For example, the food or the gas during the winter. For example, the government decided to rationate the gas for in our house, so we can't use the gas so also in same range of time. For example, during the night and not during the day. So we have to stop the gas for have cold in our house. Because we don't have the gas for everybody in Italy, and we have to use small pieces of gas.
And you personally, have you had some impact? to your life?
Really, my life personally, no. But for example, I see from my parents that, for example, for 1 week we spent, for example, 100 euro for have a food in our house. Nowadays, it's impossible to have food for 1 week with 100 euro.
It's because of what?
Because the price of the food also, for example, pasta, water, everything is increased.
And do you think that it's connected with war?
Of course, because for example the diesel is increased, so the transfer is increased, and for this.
And what do you think? What is the main reason for this?
It's a really good question. It's difficult to answer. I think that this kind of conflict and war is not related to the single country where is the war, for example, Ukraine. So it's a sort of war that included all the world. So it's difficult.
Okay, and how do you think in Italy? Most of people, they think that the main part that is guilty for this is Russia.
So if we are on the part of Russian, really not, because we look at Ukraine like the less so the people that we have to help for this are not the. So we look at the Russian from the. Raga. A rival. No, tipo la parte. Who is damaged, like this.
That Russia damaged Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and you support Ukraine?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
For example, we do a lot of volunteerism. We take food for the people from Ukraine, and we support with, for example, clothes, everything they need.
And I have one question. I know that like some people say me that there are a lot of Russian propaganda in Italy, especially. Do you see this or no? Because I am just it's interesting for me, like from a person that is from Italy.
So it's true. For example, I look a lot of TV, and during the first time, the first part of the war, there was a lot of propaganda from the Russian, because we have a lot of politicians that are connected to Putin and the Russian government. But I think that Italian people overall are able to understand what is the wrong and the good thing. So it's a propaganda that don't have a lot of impact from to us.